All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Zero, one of your commentators here today at Downtown Beatdown Online alongside Jaidlyn. Jaidlyn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulously. Get to spend my day talking about Guilty Gear and what could be better.
Right, it's a nice way to end cap the weekend before heading right into that Monday start. A week prior to that Roundhouse event coming out this following weekend. So looking forward to that. Downtown Beatdown will be there as well. The CIFGC, you know how it is. Plenty of Guilty Gear going on today. New patch, all sorts of new routes coming out. Lots to look forward to.
So much to look forward to. I mean, we were talking about the patch prior to this and how exciting, like all the changes made the air game and how much more Guilty Gear-ish the game has become
Right.
with all of its air movement and then the buffs to fireballs and 6P. Like, we're going to have so many fun things to watch today.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to seeing all these changes come to light. See if anybody's picked out new characters thanks to this patch as well. I mean, we do have plenty of familiar faces here from Razzo, Mixup, Creakyx, Max Sama, all coming back to play in this new patch here. Razzo coming up off of a tear, though, from Wednesday Night Fights earlier in the week. So that's going to be interesting to see if Razzo continues the dominance in this game with Leo, or is there going to be a shakeup between Mixup, Max, Creakyx, or anybody else in this bracket?
Yeah, that's a really good question because, so many of the characters in the cast got buffed. I think with like the notable exception of Chip, who kind of didn't get anything. Like, there's so much motivation to stay with the character that you had, but then,
Right.
like, why not try everybody else?
Right. Yeah, it's especially with the pace that they've been releasing these new characters as well. Of course, Shaco being the latest character added. It's really easy to kind of keep up with all the cast and really try everything out for the first time here. Of course, we're going for the classic. Everybody's going right back to Potemkin out here. One of those characters that is absolutely terrifying in this patch. Gearlock up against Baba here.
Yeah, so Potemkin had a couple of changes in the patch. Notably, there were some counter hit options that he has, like he can't be counter hit after slide head anymore,
Right.
which is really interesting. There's some increased damage that he does as well, so we'll just have to see how this goes, especially in a mirror match.
Yeah, absolutely. Another slide head for slide head right there. No counter hit right there, like we said. Oh, the burst already. Nice start, Gearlock.
I think we're going to see a lot more bursts, especially with the changes to RCs. Like, meter management is going to be totally different now.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh, could have been blocking off of that one there. Nice jump out from the Garuda here. That's the one thing that I'm surprised didn't get touched too bad at all, was that Garuda change right there. Nothing really.
Yeah. Ooh, nice grab. How much... God, you never know how much damage it's going to do. It's like, are they dead or are they not dead? Ooh, nice counter with the jump. Hits with the overhead. Slide head, just jump. Mega fists everywhere. Oh my god.
This is the most movement I've ever seen Potemkin do, honestly. Like, this is wild. Like,
it really is. Like, well, I mean, they've buffed so much to that air game, and it's really noticeable.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, Potemkin, of course, always devastating with that Mega Fist, really controlling that airspace. So it's interesting to see more air options done here. Mega Fist obviously being the go-to approach in a lot of cases here, but that jump heavy slash, holy cow.
I love this slide head for slide head. It's really cool to see. Good counter hit, but nothing really off of the slide head. Ooh, I feel like that could have connected, but RC side switch, what do we have?
Didn't punish the burst block there. That's unfortunate, but Baba still has a small life lead. I spoke too soon here. Gearlock trying to turn things around. Okay, nice.
Yes, these counter... I like that counter hits still have the impact that they do, but jeez. That was a... Okay, so we're like 1-1 now.
Right.
And I feel like the air game is really important to both of these players, so trying to keep them out is going to be hard for both.
Yeah, it definitely seems like who's going to do the slide head first and who's going to take the sky first is really determining like the seesaw factor of this match here. Nice counter hit approach, okay.
Slide head, it does not have decreased recovery. I feel like he's moving much faster after the end of slide head, but maybe it's that absence of the counter hit.
Right. Garuda, a couple of those. Nice. Kanji guessing.
Oh, what a nice little low to open that up.
Oh, that could have been so much worse right there.
It really
But
could
thank
have.
goodness. It's those end game scrambles, right? You know, we're down to the last bits of health. We're gonna put up the eye field here. Oh, nice break right there.
That was some really nice blocking, but oh, that was a black beat, so it didn't quite work out. But just a little flicking takes it. So Baba takes our first round.
Yeah, it's always gut wrenching when you see that FD come out. You're like, okay, surely, and you let go just a frame too early. You still catch that chip.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Slide head, slide head, slide head. This is great.
Nice Mega Fist there. Really good timing. So, yeah, basically, you can't throw Slide Head out for free, but of course, like, no more counter hit, right? So it's a little bit safer than what it was before. You know, less risk, rather.
Yeah, a lot less risk. So the Mega Fists, though, this, like, Mega Fist game is really interesting because of their air approaching so different. Oh, wow. Counter, but immediate burst to keep Baba in the corner. Slide head. Does slide head add to wall break if they're in the corner?
You know, of course, like, every hit in the corner does add up a little bit. It's one of those things, because, like, 2D, for example, really does. And I wonder if, you know, slide head also does the same thing. I assume it does, but somebody who is more well-versed in Potemkin, definitely let us know out there.
Right. Oh, wow. Just such good jump-ins. This is... I'm loving this already. I'm looking forward to seeing a character who's more traditionally airborne, just to see the changes as well. But because if we're seeing this sort of thing with Potemkin, like, what is everybody else gonna do?
Right. It's just, oh, the first pop buster of the game here, and what a grip of damage on Gearlock. You know, it just seems overall with these changes and updates, like, Potemkin's just faster in general on this game, which I think really helps Potemkin out a lot. And
yeah, it really does. Yeah, so they increased the distance from the range at which that can connect, so probably going to see a little bit more. It makes it easier to punish people with that.
Oh, absolutely. Nice. Having to hold the eye field here. Okay.
Jeez. These bursts are coming out really nice timing. God, and just hit him with the overhead.
And just like that, the pendulum swings once again. Back and forth these two go. You're like, trying a little bit ahead. We trade on the slide heads.
Trade on slide heads. Things I didn't know I'd be saying today.
Yeah. You know, it's very rare we see these Potemkin mirrors. Nice Mega Fist there. Stop with the hands here. Okay. This is the most I've seen Potemkin jump, honestly. It's usually Mega Fist approach, but here we are seeing Potemkin make these jump approaches.
Right. I was really curious there to see what they were going to do with the PRC, but Baba had some great blocking there.
Right. A little bit too early on the slide head there. Gearlock had plenty of air time, able to avoid it entirely. Okay, nice falling punch.
Oh, wow. Just once again, overhead takes that. So we're at 1-1 now.
Yes. Gearlock with the tried and true Mega Fist. If you're not sure, you don't want to deal with the air approach, just Mega Fist.
Right.
Course, I wonder if Potemkin can challenge air to air against Mega Fist. Like, I've not seen it, but I would think you could.
Another pop buster. You can really see that increased range coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, PRC to avoid the slide head and just hit him overhead. I love the little drops. They're so cute.
Counter hit Garuda. Okay, let's get a little bit extra. Yo! Gearlock with the solid read heavenly pop buster coming out at you for Baba. That is definitely gonna kill.
And in a hurry too. Holy moly. Jeez, that really sends a message to be like, nope, I got this. I love that they're using the same moves. It's always so fun to see, like, oh, same idea when you're in a mirror match like this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's the mirror matches are really tough in Guilty Gear just because of, like, you both know the exact game plan you're going for, and you're trying to just outplay the opponent so you can get that game plan out first.
Right. Oh gosh, these Mega Fists paying off dividends. Catch him with a quick low, put him in the corner, but what do we? Oh, get a grab back into the corner. This looks pretty well in Gearlock's favor, but Baba can take it with just like a grab.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, backdash here, Mega Fist approach for Gearlock. Has to block the flick. There's the big jump in here. That's about all we're gonna get. Garuda mixes begin. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
2H.
That's such a good anti-air button.
Oh yeah. Full stop. It's a giant fist that comes to the sky. You're not allowed to make any further forward momentum here in this matchup. And that's quite a way to start here. Gearlock coming out
Mhm.
2-1.
Yeah, definitely made quite the statement, but then you have to think, during that whole thing, you're gonna have to go face Razzo next.
Yeah, and you know what? Leo is definitely going to be that terrifying character. You have to hope that, Gearlock is going to be able to churn that butter in that matchup, being able to handle the cross-ups from Razzo, and also be able to handle that Matcherino link that pops up here in this chat to get that free contribution code toward the pot to help out these players here. Be greatly appreciated. You tweet it out if you've already contributed with that coupon code too.
Yeah, I love Matcherino, and it's so great, like, how many different events use Matcherino and
Oh yeah.
how you can support everybody so easily. I'm actually gonna go support right now with my free code.
It was fantastic during Vortex Gallery. I got a coffee mug, so that was
That's
cool.
cool.
I mean, the artists that they featured for those products during Vortex Gallery was really cool. So it depends upon the event. Keep an eye out because there's definitely plenty of opportunities to help contribute towards the pot. Aside from just that free contribution, you can also do those quests along the side there. They're catered to you specifically, but it helps out the page quite a bit, and it helps out CIFGC as a whole as well too.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, and speaking of events in Chicago, let's take, like,
Mhm.
a little bit of time while we're waiting for our next match and talk about Roundhouse next weekend.
Roundhouse, absolutely. Jaidlyn, take it away. You started it. I'm gonna let you take it.
Okay, fine. So next weekend in downtown Chicago at Ignite Skokie,
Mhm.
which you can see all the information there. Every major Chicago FGC house is showing out, and they are going to have all of the games that you know and love. So we have like you can see MK11, Dragon Ball Fighters, Virtua Fighter 5, several different iterations of Guilty Gear, Central Fiction, Cross Tag. Like, if you play it, it's gonna be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Downtown Beatdown being the core host for MK11, Dragon Ball, Virtua Fighter, Garage Gear. Know them well enough that they're going to be playing all the Guilty Gear, right? Just every version of Guilty Gear will be at a Garage Gear event. We're looking at Exerd, Rev 2, Strive, and Plus R. That'll be happening on Saturday, I believe. Sunday is Strive. Saturday, I believe, is Plus R. And then, of course, UGS. You know them from Uniclear and Melty Blood. Another great event that's coming up, too.
Yeah, and man, look at all of this. Like, what a great time to be playing fighting games. Like,
Right?
we've got this event, and then we've got CEO coming up, and after that, we've got Frosty Faustings, another phenomenal Chicago event. There's Cross Tag, Grand Blue, Central Fiction, all that being hosted, I know, by BG Callisto's team. So that's going to be awesome.
Right out there at the Waifu Dome. I can't say the Japanese. I have to look it up every single time I see the kanji. I'm like, crap, Senjo. You know what? Chicago Tekken's got it. Easy
Right.
peasy. Tekken 7. Done. Got it.
Great. Yeah, me and Kanji are not friends.
We'll get there one day. We'll see it enough. Yes. Got it.
Yes, cool. I know one thing. And it's how to do Waifu Dome. But anyway.
Thanks, BG Callisto, for teaching me Japanese.
Right. But yeah, that's coming up this weekend. It's all going to be streamed on, I think there's multiple different streams, but I know Low Kick will be having some of that. I think a lot of it's being streamed by their respective houses. So,
Exactly.
I mean, tune in because it's going to be such a phenomenal event.
Yeah, it's a great showing of all the Chicago talent. Just that scene has been killing it for sure online. Of course, we've all across the states been killing it in this current pandemic state. But some of these core events have definitely been coming out of the Midwest and very specifically out of the Chicago area. So thank you to all the folks involved out there and everyone that is going to be out there. I look forward to seeing you. Mask up and make sure you are vaccinated as well too. Just keep it strong out there. We're almost done. Hopefully.
I hope so. God. I mean, but for now, like you said, mask up, vax up. Let's let's keep everybody safe and healthy and do as much as we can to keep these events going.
Exactly. All right. First game
So,
already done. I do believe we're probably gonna have Razzo and Gearlock come back up. Gearlock is
yep.
already in there, so
Yep, we're waiting for Razzo. So as soon as that Razzo's in, we're going to go ahead and take that. So Gearlock, we can expect Potemkin, Razzo, most likely Leo, unless he's
right,
had an extreme change of heart in the past couple days.
right. Like this is the one bracket that Razzo's like, you know what? Time to play a Ramlethal. Whatever.
Don't you bring that evil on here?
I'm sorry. Somebody has to break the ice because it's gonna happen at some point in this bracket, and I'm terrified like everybody else.
Right? Yeah, reading through Ramathal's changes were horrific. I was like, oh my god, why? Why?
So it's Daisuke's vision. That's what it is.
But what if I don't like the vision?
You know? It paid off for Faust, though. That was actually a really nice move. So congrats to Faust players out there. Elven Shadow is probably
That's who I was looking at because the big Faust players, Elven Shadow, Ryudo, like I've been watching their tweets and they seem to be very, very happy. So I'm looking forward to seeing more Faust play. Like, is that a terrible thing to say? I feel like it is, but I like watching Faust because it's so bonkers.
It's so crazy. I just had a taste of the new Faust for the first time earlier this morning. And the fact that Faust can throw the Afro off at you is insane.
Right? Yeah, there's so many things that he can do now that are so incredibly beneficial. I want to look at a couple of the different things. There's some lowered chances of things appearing on screen when he throws stuff out. So like donuts and bananas, things that can heal you. So I feel like that's actually pretty fair. The stuff to the properties, like when people are in an Afro state and then being able to throw it, like you said, is just really crazy. Decreased recovery on several moves. No, you shut your face. You're joking right now. How dare you bring this to life?
Razzo, come on. Come on, don't.
I swear he had to be listening. I've never seen. Has Razzo ever played Ram? I've never seen them play Ram.
I don't think I've seen personally Razzo play Ram, but I have to believe that Razzo plays Ram now. What have I done?
What have you done? What have you done? Okay, so Ramlethal got a lot of buffs.
We're about to see. It's a fair choice against Potemkin. Like I could see it. I mean, goodness, here we go. Daru changes are actually going to be pretty devastating in this match for sure. Nice block. And once again, we're going to take the turn back. Try to get the backdash, and Megafist is still going to chase.
Nice tech.
Really good.
So yeah, the window for teching is a lot larger now, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because it makes it easier to actually tech instead of just like counter hit grab. But geez, look at all of this damage that she's doing. And the tiny little drift RC to continue the combo. Razzo's looking clean.
Yeah, this pressure continues. Caught the explosion. You can't put your hands out there. Razzo taking the first round.
You can't put anything out. Jeez, huge counter hit. Yeah. No, oh gosh, stuck in the corner. But I like the way that Razzo doesn't rely exclusively on the swords. Gets one explosion, keeps the second sword for extra damage. Oh, PRC.
I mean, it's such a nice change for the positioning of the sword when it does actually explode off the wall there. So you can continue that block string pressure. And against Potemkin, this is devastating because Potemkin doesn't really have a lot to get out of there. So we're really going to have to try to control this corner space here. Nice Garuda.
Yeah, I mean, Gear, once they get Razzo into the corner, did a really good job maintaining the pressure. And Razzo kind of had a questionable burst. I don't know if they were going for like gold burst or something, but now has to play a lot more carefully.
Right.
Oof, hit with the overhead, then hit with the low.
The other thing, too, if we keep too far away here, that completely shuts down the option of just chucking sword for free right there. Of course, Potemkin ready to flick that sword right back, and you lose that sword. That's a terrifying position to be. Oh, good attempt with the Mega Fist, but Razzo was ready.
Yeah, the timing on that sword explosion just kept Gear just bounced in the air, too. Reversal.
Wow, didn't go too far there. And, just earlier in that interaction, the immediate reaction from Gearlock, able to flick the sword in the corner, stealing the turn back right there. That's going to be crucial in this matchup here.
Mm-hmm. Hits with another overhead Mega Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I wonder, I mean, I'm sure Razzo's had experience, oh, good grab, experience with, Potemkin's jumping in like this, but as much as Gear is doing right now, seems like a lot.
Yeah. And I do appreciate the air-to-air attempt. Yo, butt slam, not going to get scooped up. Had to burst offensively, though. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Wow. So, Razzo plays Ram.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I put this out there. Razzo does play Ram. I will not be held responsible if Razzo starts terrorizing the Guilty Gear scene with Ramlethal.
You need to have some sort of official statement.
I need all the disclaimers every time I appear. It's like I am not at fault for Razzo.
This is official from my lawyer, and by my lawyer I mean me. Oh my goodness. So we didn't really, because we were honestly joking about Razzo playing Ram, and we're just working on making sure the connection is stable. That happens sometimes.
Right.
Let's look through some of a lot of changes that Ram had. So
Yeah, a lot.
yeah, if you look at the patch notes, I think hers is one of the longest sections.
Yeah.
Jacko had a long section, but a lot of it was just making sure she didn't activate servants when she wasn't supposed to, or things like that. Mm-hmm. But holy moly. So there were some bugs with the swords that have now been fixed. Let's see, what's some of the biggest ones? Is it Sildo de Truo? Is that how you say it?
Sildo de Truo? That sounds right.
Okay, cool.
I'll let you do that one. That one's right.
Okay, great. Well, they expanded some of the hitboxes for it. Adjusted some movement speed for all of the versions. The aerial version adjusted the blowback for it with decreased recovery. Increased damage scaling for Sabrobato. It's just, oh my gosh. And then some of the hits on what is it? Some of we call things so differently from their actual names that I'm like, oh, this is the first time I'm reading this. Reduced startup on Era Lumo, reduced recovery. The second hit of it added a dash cancel, and then the third hit has reduced knockback. It's like, this is ridiculous. She got so many wonderful tools.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I'm just looking over the Dustloop notes as well too, because they, thanks to Dustloop out there, giving the additional depth on these latest patch notes, already just tearing it up here. Thanks to the special canceling into anything, you'll still have that 2-frame gap. That's off of Error Lumo, the 214p.
Nice.
So there's still a gap there. It cannot be gapless. So you have an opportunity to interrupt. So it's not just free recas. We're not going into the endless strings like Revelator had for a little bit. Thanks, Arm, for blowing me up with that. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's interesting to see these changes, especially to Banjonetto, the sword tosses here, 236 at the page as well. The explosions being a little bit different. Especially with spacing as well. And the spacing thing, I think, came about just specifically from this patch, whereas it used to be stuck behind the opponent, and now it's a little bit closer out front, so you can still retrieve the sword a little bit earlier. So that's a tough change right there, but I also think we'll see. The way I look at buffs is just that there's a reason why they buffed this character, so there's something else in this that we're not seeing up front, because it's tough to look at patch notes in a silo, because immediately you look at these notes and gosh, Ramlethal was great. Why does she need more great things? And it's okay, well, let's look at the whys here and how everyone else was affected. And the way they're changing roaming canceling, I think, might allude as to why a lot of these buffs happen just because of your versatility with all those changes as well. You know, being able to blue RC punish a little bit more effectively now, even YRCing as well, which is it's tough in the corner regardless against Ramlethal, but these changes in particular, especially how close she wants to be in the corner with this patch, I think it definitely benefits her a lot.
I totally agree. And unfortunately, we did have desync from the streamer side.
Ah,
So Gear did take that 2-0 against Razzo's Ramethal. Razzo
okay.
talking in chat about how feels like it was kind of a struggle. So interesting, you know, when you see Razzo in a bracket, you're like, oh, okay, they'll probably be close to winners or something. And
Right.
now Razzo and losers?
Well, you know, these brackets, of course, always a great opportunity to try new things, especially after a new patch, right? Like these are the opportunities you're going to take. You're a week out from. I'm not sure if Razzo is actually going to Roundhouse. I don't think Razzo is. Might be a little bit too far away for that. We'll see. Razzo could
Mhm.
just take up the opportunity to go out, have a good time. But you know, these brackets leading up to, I mean, shoot, we're a month and a half away from CEO, and that's going to be the big
Yeah.
one, right? So,
Yeah, CEO is definitely going to be I mean, it's the first big live event that we will have had. The first
right,
live major, and a lot of people's eyes are gonna be on that, especially with, you know, Frosty not being barely a month and a half after.
right,
So and usually at this point in the year, we would have wrapped up with a different major, you know, being this different times, but,
right,
like, usually the last major would be in what, October-ish? And then we would have a little bit of downtime, do some small
right.
things, some regionals, and then Frosty would kick off the year again. But now we get to have CEO right before that with 10 major events.
Yes. Yeah, it's goodness. Trying to catch up at the end of this year because we just had what was it? We just had Summer Jam.
Right?
NEC is around the corner or has no, it's coming up. It's sometime at the end of this month if I remember correctly. And then you know, like you said, we do have CEO and I'm trying to remember when KIT is happening as well because that's still happening this
Mhm.
year. So there is a lot being crammed right at the end of the year. And of course, like you said, Frosty kicking it off, normally being KIT and then Frosty. But
Right.
yeah, CEO is going to be a great way to start things out here. And Nim versus Mixup here, another Potemkin.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see Kai with a lot of his changes.
Right.
Uh, I wanna talk more about this, but we'll talk some about Kai in a little bit.
Mhm.
But looking at all of the damage he's doing, so Fujirak got buffed, you get more damage based on
Yep.
that. But Slidehead doing work, what a conversion!
Oh my goodness. Oh, you, yeah, definitely double jump away from that. We're not going to deal with an air throw. Sorry. But Mega
Yeah,
Fist still coming to
yikes.
shut things down.
Um, so the busted projectiles really helped out Kai.
Mhm.
And because of those buffs, they also increased a number of his moves. So I really am looking forward to seeing what all of like his stunnage and everything can do.
Yeah.
But we're getting to see a little bit more of that now. Unfortunately, against this empowered Potemkin, it's looking a little rough.
Oh, really good DP though.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal DP. It looks so good. Oh my god, Dire Clay, so much damage. Good burst to keep him in the corner. It looks like Kai was going for a grab, but
Right.
didn't quite get it. Oh, you did.
You hate to see it, you know. You're on a tear, doing great, and just one wrong interaction with Potemkin can just flip that upside down.
It absolutely can. So, was it stun? I was looking at all of the charged attacks for stun edge have increased move speed, which is really nice. Good Potemkin blister. Yeah, and I like the use of Fujirak because it did have increased scaling on it. So using that more, especially because it closed gap as well, is a good move. How did he not die? Never mind, he's dead.
Yeah. Mix-up had the meter. We're going to take care of this problem.
Right? Yeah, meter management is so crucial in this game, and with the
Yes.
changes to RCs and to bursts, like, you just have to watch what meter is available when.
Yeah, I think it helps out a lot of characters that, have different reversal options. Like, don't have the true DPs, anything like that. Nice charge. Dust here. This will be big. Not going to kill, but a great situation here for Nim.
Yeah. Oh, nice throw. Oh, there we go. All right. So Nim puts a round on the board. This is good.
Yep.
It's encouraging. I feel like he's playing really close to Potemkin, which is kind of not the range you want to be at as Kai. Unless you do that, like, you get your little stun dipper in and then you back off.
Yeah, I mean, you got to appreciate the shock state approach there, but see, this is the other situation. The flick. Full screen fireballs are definitely going to be rough. I think the mid-range is definitely going to be stronger for Kai in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see.
He's got a lot of meter too. Drift RC to kill. Oh, he dropped the... Yeah, you have to be really careful depending on the weight of the character with that pick up close slash, which is what he was trying to do.
Exactly. Okay, nice. Have the heavy stun edge.
Yeah, just trying to get as much chip damage as he can on that. Oh, misses the grab, just jumps out of it. Foodrick low.
Yeah, once is fine. A second time, we got to be a little bit careful. Nice flick.
Oh, yeah, flicks it right back at him. Oh, didn't catch that one, though.
Yep, use the faster stun edge. I do like that one. Trying to mix things up will definitely throw off some of these flick timings here, which is definitely crucial if you want to catch Mixup unawares. You're going to mix up the mix. There you go.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I really liked the heavy jump into the low too. Just the high-low mix was really nice from Nim. He's playing at that much further range now, but gets hit out of the charged stun edge with the
ground to anti-air like that with a heavy slash. Not gonna really be the best option against Mega Fist there. And you know what?
Right.
So many of us are guilty of it too. Like, it's traditional, right? You see Potemkin jump, you want to anti-air. You see anybody jump, you want to do that. This is one of those things. Air to air will be your option here.
Jeez, this is Potemkin. This has come up even pre-patch. He has to hit. Wow, what a snatch! He has to hit so many less times to do damage.
Right.
And Kai just has to work really hard for that. I mean, less hard than he used to now, but
yeah.
Oh, just checks in with a 5P. Nice. Unfortunately, this is wall break and just Mega Fist to death. That was another very demanding lead. Demanding, all the things. So that's another Potemkin moves on.
Wow, the full Potemkin gauntlet. That's going to be terrifying. Look, if y'all out here in Central Illinois just have nothing but grapplers, what happened? Like, who bullied you? Like, what is happening? Like, we don't need this violence.
Yeah, I always get really excited when I see a Kai. I'm like, yay, what can we learn? What can we do? And then it's like, oh no.
Gets grabbed and crushed. Spine destroyed.
Legs done. It's just like
every time a Kai gets Heavenly Pot Bustered, you have the SpongeBob, my leg.
Oh no. Oh boy. This is so far we're just cruising through this bracket, just waiting for our next pair to get into the room. We're not going to do 3 out of 5s until winners final, just FYI. So we're going to keep things really moving along today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gearlock and Creaky Axe coming up next here. Creaky Axe will be the first time on stream today. Gearlock, of course, running that Potemkin gauntlet out here. Who's going to be the better Potemkin at the end of this is what we're going to see. It might be the most Potemkin you see in this finalized top 8 here.
Right.
We'll see if we get all 3 of them in top 4.
Yeah, when we first started with Guilty Gear Strive, it was, how many souls are we going to see today?
Soul Ram. Okay, Soul Ram.
And also May.
But
with a lot of the changes that have been coming through, we're seeing a lot more character diversity. And I guess, Nago's shown up quite a bit as well. And Nago got some really substantial changes this patch as well.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Substantially good in his favor.
Yeah, Nagoriyuki has been one of those characters that I think really early on was kind of slept on a bit, right? Because Nagoriyuki has had that damage for quite some time, and it's just we haven't seen too many Nagoriyuki players out there really execute on it. And as time went on, we figured out ways to counterplay Soul, counterplay Ramlethal, and even try to challenge Mei. And those characters still strong, no doubt about it. But like Nagoriyuki has been one of those characters. Like, okay, we've had to work through this gauntlet, we've had to work through these struggles, and now things are getting a little bit easier. We're getting additional tools to help us out here. And that character, always great. That's the nice thing about this game in general, is that everybody has had a strong potential to do well against other characters. And I think in the last 3 months, right, like we've just really taken our time to learn how to play through these characters. And this is the first really big patch. Of course, we did have that patch when Gold Lewis dropped, and we did have the one with Jacko, but this is the one that's really changed a lot of the game here, because now we have core mechanics that are changing. And yeah, Nagoriyuki.
Right. So, yeah, let's because we've mentioned like briefly what some of those core mechanics, but let's talk a little bit more about what
Sure.
some of those core mechanics are that change. So, like one thing that we had mentioned were throws.
Mhm.
The frames in which you needed to counter a throw were so small
Right.
that oftentimes you had to just kind of guess if your opponent was going to throw then to make
Mhm.
that work. But now, because there's more time, there's more opportunities for clash, like just good techs and things like
Right.
that, which I think even that, like, it seems like such a small change, but it's really huge in the middle of a match.
Yes, absolutely. Like, classic Guilty Gear, of course, it's always been you do have to guess. Like, it was like a legend that if anybody could tech a throw in Guilty Gear, like you're a robot. There's no way. Now it's definitely a little bit easier, some changes, and I think that helps for the better of like newer players coming to Strive, because again, this is the ground game, and wow, what a dunk already for Mixup here.
Yeah, so this is winners finals. It will be 3 out of 5, and Mixup just dominating so far. Wow, what a clash. RC,
Oh wait!
PRC again. Wow, holy moly. And just 2 Mega Fists in a row. Mixup said it's my game.
Oh my goodness. The double purple RC, both of these players know exactly what they're doing with this character. Both really strong here, Mega Fist approach, and we're just going to take our time. Not overextend, be very cautious with these hammerfall breaks here, okay? Nice combo.
I really like what, oh my god, these slide heads, slide head, counter slide head is just hilarious. But I like when players check each other with the light buttons, just be like, are you hitting a button and what can I confirm off of?
Right. Purple
No,
RC,
oh my
Mega
god!
Fist! Anything could have happened right there because they both purple RC'd. I thought Heat Knuckle was on the way. I don't know what was going to happen.
I didn't either. That was really insane. But like the countering the PRCs with another PRC is just bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, what a great option for Potemkin, especially in this matchup, right? You're making that unsafe approach with Hammerfall. It's like, okay, I see something for a second here. I'm able to react to that situation, but then to counter it right back, for those of us that have been playing Multiplayer, we know what that's like, countering with moon.
Yes. This is very true. Again, we have 2 really jumpy Potemkins again, which I just really like that change. It seems like it's increasing the options so much. I was like, oh wait, slide head, are we gonna PRC again?
Yeah.
There
Okay.
it is, called it.
Are we close enough? We are close enough for the
Wow.
shatter.
Awesome shatter. Oop, clonk, flick right in the head. I mean, Gear has such an advantage right now. He can kind of just wait and play their game.
Okay. Oh, wow. Good clash, but nothing after it from Mixup here. All right.
Yeah,
No.
Gear just has to kind of wait and Mega Fist, I guess. That'll certainly do it.
Jump back Mega Fist.
I mean, it works.
It's a strong
successful.
tool. It is a strong tool, though, because that's like a wall of just hurt. If they're not already doing a forward jump or doing an invulnerable anti-air move, like, that's a great way to backdash. Yo, the purple drift pop buster. What a
Yeah.
great start.
I like. Did you see that it was a gold burst to get all the meter to achieve that? That was
Yes.
so smart.
Okay, we're full burst in return.
Yeah, Mixup went for a grab, but it whiffed. It was a little too far away. PRC is paying off dividends for both players.
Exactly. I love that they're both using it as like a mix opportunity. Like, just try to force a situation from your opponent here. Nice purple RC to get the whiff throw punish.
Yep, and just, phew, really well done. They both play at a similar pace and have similar ideas, so it's really just who gets their foot in the door first.
Right, and this purple RC game too, like I almost feel like it's trying to make the opponent flinch by doing full screen like light kick in Street Fighter 4, right? You're just putting out buttons, trying to get your opponent to make an unsafe decision here. And in the case of Potemkin, you have a rock, paper, scissors guess every purple RC. Am I going to get thrown? Is it going to be a low, or are they just going to overhead me? It's a pop buster on your way.
Yeah, it seems like the damage scaling on that is much lower. Is there a difference on this damage scaling on that?
For pop buster, you mean, like towards the end?
Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah, so of course, like guts kicks in.
Right.
So, and Potemkin, one of the highest guts in the game. So that definitely helps out tremendously. I think Anji as well, you'd see something very similar there too, because look at that start out. Now your health is going to start. You're going to take less damage from the next pot buster overall.
Okay. Yeah, it's much more noticeable than I thought it would be, especially in that gut situation. I was like, oh, he's not dead, huh? Okay. I mean, Gear's about to be, unless, oh no, you're, out of the corner thrown though, never mind.
Okay, got the Garuda. Uh-oh. Try to bait something out. No, Mega Fist quite. Yo, if you get it, you do! That kills.
Jeez. Wow. Sometimes you just get grabbed. Oh, I love whenever somebody is just patient and not doing anything, and then they end up just staring at each other.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, moves are happening, right? It's the mental chess between the two players. Like, okay, if I do this, and then the end result ends up coming out. Like Doctor Strange trying to look through the millions of possibilities, and only one comes out.
Right. Oh, I really like the way they took advantage of that button mash state, if you will, to just keep their combo going. Oh, charge dust into the air, gets the burst. Yeah. They just got their burst back at the end. I was like, why would you burst in the last hit?
Don't want to take that knockdown damage. Don't want to take the meteor. Okay.
That's true. I would have, if it wouldn't have killed them, they'd be close to death. Counter hit, Mega Fist back.
It was a good decision from Gearlock at the start there, but it's the close up with the chop that was on the way. The low came out first for Mixup here. All right, Mega Fist into the corner situation once again. Staggered.
Yeah, stagger into the delightful pot buster. Look at this command lead, another charge dust. You can't. He's not going to get his burst back in time. It doesn't matter anyway, though. Oh, perfect.
Oh dear.
Gosh, whenever you get perfected, it's a message.
Especially against Potemkin. You can't. You got read like a book if you took all of that from Potemkin. All right, so 2-1.
Yeah, and a perfect in a mirror match is a little detrimental, but I feel like he just unlocked a new level of anger in Gear.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Potemkin not going down without a fight here.
I like when they duck next to each other, their heads go into each other's hitbox.
Uh-oh, nice approach. Purple RC. Got the shadow. No, missed it.
Yeah, trying to go for a heavier hitting button and unfortunately just popped away from the wall. So this gives Gear another chance.
Yeah, great opportunity here. Avoided a positive bonus situation. Flick. There's the RC. Nice block here from Gear. Good guess. Again, that rock, paper, scissors situation off of every RC is just crucial.
Really nice blocking from Mix there. Mega Fist. Oh, that time it was not Mega Fist together. It was Slide Head into Mega Fist. Mega Fist PRC, but nice blocking from Mixup again. Is this it? No. I'm holding my breath.
The Mega Fist, it does get blocked. It is a chip, doesn't matter. Mixup didn't have the health, but did have the meter to go for a faultless defense to avoid it.
Yeah, definitely could have avoided that chip damage at the end, but I feel like they were waiting for their opportunity and may not have been thinking as much defensively.
Right, once that mental stack hits, it's just like, all right, which options Potemkin going for right now? Am I gonna get mixed? No, I'm gonna churn the butter, get the pop buster to the corner, big counter hit into no, it drops.
Oh no, this is huge. YRC for a little bit of a reset. What have we got?
Ooh, good backdash here. Nice counter hit. All right, it's a big opportunity to turn things around for Gearlock. Burst is available here, but still have 2 hearts left, right? It's only the second round. If we lose this, okay, you better be confident you're gonna win this round because you're not gonna get a burst next round.
Right. That's always such a huge mental game. Like, do I use my burst now? But that might have been a good decision.
Okay, the backdash.
Oh.
Yep.
Gets hit with the low, so now they did build a lot of that burst meter back,
right,
but you've got to play so much more carefully because you don't have that option on the table, and Mixup's about to get theirs back.
Okay, nice counter hit. Garuda gets jumped out. Big jump from Mixup here. Okay, now the footsies begin. Nice whiff punish here. Able to close the gap with Hammerfall. Garuda guess. That's the worst guessing game ever. Just
Oh, nice.
Garuda.
Oh, did drop it at the very, very end. I feel like that move either used to link or is just not the same timing. Because both of them keep doing it and it's not going well.
It might be that muscle memory, like you said. It's just like it used to work that way, and now it's just not. Oh, large
just dust right in his face. Got his burst back just in time. How fortunate.
Okay, slide hook is blocked. It's anyone's game here. One more touch. Mixup will take it if they get that hit and move on. And look at that. Gearlock survives for another round in this winner's finals.
That was impressive. The way that they were managing their meter, like at the very end, it came down to that Gear got their got half meter or 50% tension so they could PRC.
Exactly. It's all about that resource game at this point, right? It's just like you're going back and forth. You are going to encounter hits. You're really trying to, outplay, work on whip punishes here, especially in this Garuda situation too. Like, it's tough. Whoever's got resources though stands to have plenty more options.
Yeah, and we've been in this situation before where Gear is sitting in guts and it looks kind of scary. Oh, but this gold burst is very scary. Air tech's in the air. Air tech's the throw in the air. There we go. I was like, air tech, air.
Okay, butt slam does have Garuda on deck. No, watch the second low. Okay, good. Blocking low. And, that's unfortunate. Gearlock had the early Mega Fist. Mixup able to take advantage with the Mega Fist of their own.
This is... When I said I was excited to talk about Guilty Gear, I didn't know I'd be commentating so many Potemkin mirror matches, but it's so fun.
It's so nerve-wracking because one mistake costs you, but then we're going to see another mistake happen, right? Because they're both able to take the hits for an extended period of time. Although a couple pop busters definitely takes out a grip of damage here. Double hammer fall. Let's go. We saw a drift come out from Mixup. That came first, and Gearlock had a RC of their own. That's how they were able to come out on top.
Oh, I like the idea of the PRC slide switch, but the butt drop just hit him on the way down because the hitbox is both sides.
Okay, hammer fall drift. Burst. Gearlock trying to stay alive again. Big fist, and that will do it. Big swing for Mixup. Another hammer fist to close it out. 3-2 in this winner's finals over Gearlock.
Wow, man, that was a good winner's finals.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was just so much fun to watch, and because they played so similarly and had such similar game plans. It was just like, okay, well, who has this meter? Who has which meter? Who's going to burst? They have gold burst. Oh, God.
It's definitely a matchup where you have to really watch the resources available for both players because you never know, like, when, you never know what decision that Potemkin is going to make if they have that tension, right? So you have to be careful how they're going to spend it. And that comes from conditioning throughout the match. But at the same time, if you get mixed and you're a little bit too hesitant about how you're like, okay, well, my opponent surely will RC here or surely will burst. And when it doesn't happen, you give up that turn. There goes that offensive advantage that you did have, and then it goes right to your opponent. So in the case of Potemkin, all it takes is one Garuda, right, and then that turns things around entirely.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Phew, totally agree. Because it was just so crazy to watch all of that in action,
Mhm.
watching the different ways that they would manage all of those resources and then be like, okay, well, now I'm going to use this really good move versus this really good move that you've got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in mirror matches like that, you're definitely like you're aware of the unsafe situations there, and so is your opponent. But it's about really trying to bait out the like having the better decision at that time. A constant back and forth, and I keep bringing up rock paper scissors because ultimately in this matchup, it is a lot of what it is, right? It's just like, all right, did you decide to slide head first? Great, I can follow up slide head and get the advantage. Or like, okay, who did Mega Fist first? Okay, you did, great. Then I can just backdash or react with an RC to drift forward and get another pot buster on you. It's that back and forth, and once you overwhelm your opponent's mental stack, then you can really start to take things over in the corner. And we saw that time and time again. Once somebody got overwhelmed, that corner game was theirs.
Yeah, definitely. And that's with the wall break mechanic and
Yeah.
the extra damage that you get, that corner pressure and what you can do in the corner is so important. Especially, now there were some fundamental changes to the way things work in the corner. Like, actually, apparently there was a bug where if a character's in certain characters where they were positioned, it would change if they were stuck to the wall. So
Oh,
uh, thanks for changing that.
nice.
Yeah, but just the way that things interact in this game are so important. And then having that, knowing your corner routes, knowing what's
Yeah.
going to break the wall. Because once you do break the wall, then you have that, positive tension gain, and you have so many things that are in your advantage.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you're guaranteed at least 50% tension, and depending upon how you interact on that next situation, it will definitely be 100%. You just have to it's a big loss for whoever gets blasted through that wall. And I think both Potemkin players, when they did get blasted, which was very rare because most of the situations were just regular pot busters or we were getting out of the corner pretty handily. When it was that situation, okay, I know what resources that Potemkin player now has because of positive bonus, and I had to play defensively and wait for that to run out. And it's crazy to watch a Potemkin matchup and just sit there and think you have to react to like once purple RC is on the board, it's like, oh god, like one of three options have a 33% chance of getting out of this alive. Like, what's it gonna be?
Yeah, and you've been bringing up the rock paper scissors situation repeatedly because it really is just a
Yeah,
guessing game. What are you going to do? And we saw it highlighted during that. It was like
yeah,
rock paper scissors, PRC. We would see the PRC drift to side switch. We would see PRC to H to anti-air. It was just like, and then sometimes it would be PRC jump cancel into a megafist.
so yeah, there's so many options that you have to watch out for. It's as a Potemkin player that you go up against another Potemkin player, you're aware. It's just a matter of guessing right, unfortunately. And it
Right.
works in Potemkin's favor. Like that's a necessary thing that Potemkin needs to be successful in this game. Honestly, it's not just like you pick Potemkin and you force like awful situations on the opponent because there's so many ways to counter a lot of those situations. Where if you're playing another character that, say, for example, like Kai or Soul, well, you don't have to play rock paper scissors in some of those occasions because you have a
Mm-hmm.
invulnerable DP, so you're fine. But with other characters like Faust or anybody that doesn't have like the immediate reversal, Anji is another character like that, and even um, Giovanna as well. Like they really have to play that guessing game. And sure, Giovanna in this example has faster buttons, so she has to play on the razor's edge of like, all right, well, I got to get in your face exactly where you want me to be, and I had to make sure that my pressure is on point because any gaps causes me a pot buster.
Any caps causes me to pot buster. These truer words never spoken. So next up on stream, Nim and Razzo are both returning. So Nim
Mhm.
playing her Kai, which was really fun to watch
Yes.
until they were Potemkined to death. And Razzo, who you spoke Ram into existence, so who will continue to play Ram.
You know, sometimes to understand your enemy, you have to become your enemy. Maybe that's what Razzo was doing today.
Maybe. So this, I feel like, prior to this patch, Kai had to play fairly carefully because Ram has a lot of things, a lot of tools that Kai doesn't like, especially once Kai gets in. You know, Ram had so many things that were able to counter any of Kai's close-up movement.
Right.
So I'm interested to see, especially with the change to Fujark, which was pretty devastating to Ram in the first place, how Nim chooses to use it, because she was very liberal with Fujark the first time we saw her.
Yeah, absolutely. Great 6P, though. Holy cow, from Razzo.
Right. Yeah, 6P buffed across all characters.
Yeah.
Our Lord and Savior 6P. Yeah. Oh. So a lot of really, like a lot of just walking, but unfortunately caught by the swords. But Razzo misses the charge dust.
Oh, well, we got the throw. Nice purple RC. Hold this pressure once again. And this is where the gap game gets really scary. Actually, really good decision to slide on into the DMs here.
There, that was a really nice carry.
Yes.
Oh, but unfortunately, food trucks themselves into the corner. That can definitely happen.
Yeah,
Not that I've done it a lot.
I think one more hit from Nim would have gotten the shatter right there as well,
It
too.
would have.
Just a little bit early on the drop. But here we go. Big opportunity. Bursting. Doesn't want to get caught. Great decision from Razzo.
Oh, just really nice check with the 5P catching that Fujark coming in from Razzo. Gets grabbed. And another grab. Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition. And nope.
There we go. Let's get off of me right now. Ride the lightning.
Ride the lightning right in your face. Fantastic. Ooh, counter hit. They're actually pretty even life.
Right, and I gotta commend the wherewithal to just back off there in that situation. Full meter from Razzo. We can expect a reversal for sure. It's Ramlethal. So great respect from Nim here. Now playing the full screen game.
Yeah, Nim doing the best she can to put Razzo into shock state constantly.
Yes.
Oh, another Fujark that whiffs and puts him on the other side. Nice tech.
Yeah, these slides have to relax. Nice 2P.
Whew. Fast buttons, good buttons.
Yeah, you know, I was absolutely terrified. How many slides are we going to go for here? Just don't send it in all the way. Ram can blow you up for it.
Absolutely. There's another one. Oh, grab. I wonder if Nim was expecting a grab and was like teching in response, but I like that. Oh, bounced into the air, caught on the wall, explosion, wall break.
Yeah.
That's commanding.
Yeah, absolutely. But we still... Okay, let's go. Stun edge to start out this knockdown here when you least expect it.
That was a really nice return wall break.
Yeah,
and oh, golly, drift burst.
Can't believe Nim still did the burst right there. Razzo wasn't ready for it. Blue RC still got the throw. Razzo coming out on top in the first game over Nim.
Oh my god. That last one was just hit for hit. At
Yeah.
the very end there, it was like, who's got meter? It was again, who's got meter? Who's got what on deck? Oh, air throw. Just kidding.
Oh boy, really scary situation there, hit for hit, like you said. And here we go, 2P interrupts. Really good carries here, nice. Razzo getting full extension, push to the corner. Did you see how much damage that did? That didn't even like, wow, there was no meter spent.
No, there was no meter spent, and that's something that Razzo's really good at, is managing resources. Nice tech. I like that we're seeing the changes to teching now. It's really cool.
Absolutely, a lot of folks able to react a little bit better here. Good block on the burst there, able to get the corner controlled. Nice throw. Nim, you gotta watch out for the meter. Pay attention to that meter.
When you're that close to that, that overdrive is devastating.
Yeah, it's a full stop right there. You know, you just say you're feeling cute. Cool, that's fine. Stop that right now. Enough Instagramming.
Yeah,
Still
delete that later. I really like watching this combo from Razzo, seeing,
Right.
how much damage they're able to do, and then I feel like they're really conservative in throwing the swords
Yeah.
to just make sure they always have one for extra explosion, and then Kai gets slapped. That's Razzo taking it 2-0.
Wow. Yeah, I do like the decision to hold on to that extra sword, right? We don't want to give up that the mid-range pressure. We don't want to give up the corner pressure as well to keep locked down. It's a great decision from Razzo. Plus being able to juggle, I'm still getting signs, getting flares from Exert, just being able to continue the same routes from Daru is insane.
It is. This game, I mean, we talked about it pre-show, but how much more these changes is making this feel very Exard-ish. And the games, they were already fast, but they
Right.
seem just so much more volatile now. And the game is taking place not just on the ground and a little bit in the air, it's all over the screen. And there's a lot more back and forth that we're seeing now. And some of that is, shaking off the differences in what the patch has done,
Right.
but it's also exploring these new opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so much and it's only been a few days, right? Since this patch has dropped. So being able to take these notes and really quickly adjust is tremendous. I mean, that's how you see your high level players from your mid-high level players at that point, right? Of just being able to quickly turn around on those notes, try new things, and still find success out of it. But I mean, still a lot of that old legacy information works here. You'll find additional routes on top of it, like you're saying, that will actually benefit you a lot more. And even still, Ramethal changes, being able to juggle like that off of Daro is just another nod of like, okay, I'm able to carry the corner now and continue my corner game like I did previous patch. Things are not 100% different with Ramethal. They're just even better for her.
Even better for her. There's so again, like while we're waiting for everybody to come in, a couple things in the main patch notes. Also, if you haven't read the patch notes, they are available on the main Guilty Gear Strive website. It's patch 1.10, and they're written really well. I mean, we both Zero and I were talking about how it would be nice if we had really specific numbers, but we both really like those.
Yes.
But things like they explain why changes were made. So, for example, where overall changes. Let's see. We have revised the overall functions of projectile special moves, aerial attacks, and anti-airs. So it's like, okay, cool. And then they're like, also since aerial attacks and projectiles and things like that have been buffed, we've also buffed anti-air attacks like counter hit 6P.
Right.
Making it easier to include during special moves. Like you can link stuff that couldn't be linked before, which is so cool.
Yeah, it's like because Giovanna had that 6P buff, right? Of just like, cool, you can link 6P into other buttons, and that opens up new combo routes. And that buff from the previous patch now being spread out to the entirety of the cast as a universal mechanic. You have to look at the bigger picture, like I was talking about earlier, just like these are opportunities for all the characters in some ways. So, for example, you said earlier that Chip didn't really get a whole lot of changes. Well, look at the overall aspect of the universal mechanics that helps Chip tremendously.
Right.
There are other things to think about. Like a lot of folks will think on their character and I was like, oh my goodness, my character got hit hard. It's like, well, what nerfs inadvertently hit other characters because your character got this specific tool? You have to think about it like that.
Yeah, I liked reading the last line before his, the balance intentions of Chip specifically. His mix-up, however, has somewhat increased startup as it was overly influenced by individual reaction times and play environments. Don't play Wi-Fi. That just cracks me up. It was like, oh, okay, cool.
So you recognize that it's a little bit harder to react online. I see.
Right? It's, hey, there was acknowledgement, and then we moved on.
Yes.
But just again, like these patch notes, this is significant. This is a really significant balance update. So if
Mhm.
you hadn't played Guilty Gear for a while because you're like, I don't really feel like this gels with me, try it again.
Right. Absolutely. It's definitely a change of pace. Some of your old B&Bs still work, but you might find new effective things as well. And honestly, the turnaround on this patch alone, like while we were talking off stream, is just like this is insane for Arxis to have such a quick response to changes to the game. So thank you so much for one to add that additional flair to Guilty Gear, but also like have your ear to the ground to the community. It definitely shows because they're definitely listening. They're definitely responding. These developer backyards have been fantastic to read through. There's a little bit something for everybody. If you're, not into, high level competition, you're just watching this for fun and you like the single player mode, they still make changes on those patches too. I mean, even Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, they're still dropping RPG mode changes as well. So get on it. It's still a great time to check out these notes.
Yeah, so now we are in, this is losers semis with
Yeah.
Razzo and Baba, so can't escape from crossing Potemkin. And but it's interesting because Razzo was commenting in the Discord that they felt like Ram into Potemkin was kind of hard.
Right.
So I'm curious the reasoning for staying. I mean, do they feel like Leo is worse, or they just want to keep, getting some Ram practice in?
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things that I think about, like, you don't want to give up too early on that game plan. Like maybe you've labbed something that you think works really well and you're just not, maybe you feel like you're a little bit off on the implementation, so you're going to try it elsewhere, or maybe it was just like a player matchup. Really have to check your notes. Great backdash on the slide head.
Yeah, really able to, because they didn't get hit by it, able to start their game plan. So, but really nice blocking from Baba. Jeez Louise, does get hit by the sword. Are we going to get a wall break?
Yeah, should be.
Oh,
wow.
I think that was going to be the last hit of it.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even need it.
Yeah, so now Razzo in a very commanding lead. I mean, you can't put your guard down. Couldn't quite pick up the air counter, but God, you better have meter for faultless defense.
Yeah, it does. Spends all of it, though, unfortunately. Mega Fist there. Great spend, though, from Razzo here. No real risk unless a Babo had already been jumping, and it paid off there. Razzo taking the first round.
Yeah, you don't see that super come out a lot, but if you don't have enough meter to FD, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, all that chip damage, and now getting tossed up a couple times here. Nice big counter hit. Wow.
Very, very big counter hit. Now Razzo's going to be gating that positive tension. Man, nice PRC to cancel the end of that. I think actually that was a new addition to Ram's kit. I gotta go check.
Yeah, no, I'm still like trying to keep up with all the changes that are updated on Ramlethal, reading them over again too, just to make sure I got it all right. Because like you said earlier, the longest set of patch notes is for Ramlethal right now, and a lot of them are in her favor for sure. 5K interrupts. Let's go.
Okay, that was not a change, but the second hit of that particular string had a lot of differences made to it, so I wanted to make sure that that was not new.
Okay, slide head does get blocked. Whoa.
Yeah,
okay.
Really had to burst there, otherwise they wouldn't have been able to, maintain their...
Oh! The flick, I think it hit the explosion and the sword toss?
That was crazy.
Oh,
okay.
No. Yeah, gotta be careful on those bursts in the corner. You still have a hard time trying to burst Ramlethal. She's just spaced well enough that she doesn't even get affected by it.
Yeah, I love the delay sword too. Just made sure, are you gonna kill? This is gonna kill. So awesome. I love seeing what Ram can do. Counter it, overdrive. Jeez Louise.
Oh wow, there's the gap. Good reaction from Baba here. 5K smacked out of the sky though. Big jump in. Look at the hammer fall. Interrupt with 5P.
Just, oh man, jump back. This is actually the closest it's been ever.
Right.
Razzo choosing to block really effectively. Oh,
Oh, body splash does not even get a block stun. Has to be careful. 6 HS. Oh, get scooped. The
Yo,
gorilla.
if you try to fake the grab, you have to be ready to tech that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Just,
Wow.
I feel like Razzo's trying to bait these grabs sometimes, and now Baba's like, no, I've done this effectively, so Razzo's got to kind of back off and like either actually grab or change the game plan.
Oh, wow. Yeah, honestly, I do appreciate a lot of the interactions from Baba, because Baba is counterplaying Ramlethal fairly well in some cases. Just Razzo's offense is just really overwhelming. I've seen flick after flick in the corner against these sword tosses here.
Yeah, oh, right out of the range of Slidehead. PRC doesn't get anything off of it, but does get some counter hits. Another counter hit. This is really huge. We know how much damage this can do. Wall break. Come on, get it. There we go. I was like, don't let it drop. Don't let it drop.
Yeah, one more touch will do it here. Goes for air to air. Nice. Baba really trying to find that perfect spacing, but the 5K, it's tough because 5K is so gosh darn fast in comparison to Potemkin here.
Yeah, that was quite a quick one. But now I see really why Razzo wants to play Ram into that, because I feel like Leo wants to play at a very similar range to Potemkin, and Ram can just like tennis ball him around a little bit.
Right. You know, you can play that mid-range game. You don't have to, risk your mix-up, by being close inside Potemkin's grab range, where Leo would be. If you're playing Ramlethal, you can check a lot of options. She gets a ton of benefit from counter hit situations as well, too.
Huge advantage.
Yeah, so it's, I get the play, right? Just to really challenge a lot of Potemkin situation. Just seeing there, too, the 5K run-up just being so much faster than any startup button that Potemkin could have thrown out is definitely huge.
It is. It's so interesting to see with a character like Potemkin who can, 2 to 3 hit touch you and you're dead.
Right.
And we saw Potemkin into Kai, and we saw how much work Kai had to do. But we also, now that we've seen Potemkin into Ram doesn't have to work as hard as Kai, but those counter hits are crucial in her success.
Right, absolutely. I mean, look at the damage that you can do off of Araluo?
Aralumo.
Aralumo.
It's
Yes, Aralumo.
It's like Luma from Super Mario Galaxy. That's all I'm remembering. So now we're going to get into our losers finals. Can't escape from crossing Potemkin.
Indeed. Welcome to the Potemkin patch of Guilty Gear Strive P.
Look, you have brought so many things into existence today. If they call this, accent core plus R, if they call this, Guilty Gear Strive P, I'm going to be upset.
Don't have a P patch, please. P for...
Don't do this to me.
Oh, good flick here. Gearlock taking some notes here from the previous match.
Yeah, I mean, which in that, the first time, so Gear was who put Razzo into losers.
Right.
So, but I feel like Razzo cleaned up a few buttons, and oh boy, this is much harder for Gear to get in on.
Yeah, I love these delays on the explosions. Nice slash. Got the sword back here. Able to RC. Oh, got bopped by the yellow RC here. And again, already in course two. Great flick on the explosion. Excellent timing here from Gearlock.
Look at Razzo holding on to their burst. Holy moly. Side switch. Overhead blocked. Jeez.
Okay, good jumping button there. Nice. Wow. Really playing on the race's edge here. Yo, the hammer fist. Had the whole Garuda.
Yeah, and just these jump backs. Oh, checking with all the short buttons.
Sheesh. The slashes. Just Razzo. Extreme patience. Not overextending, using safe buttons. Good mid-range options. Just trying to interrupt things and just chip away slowly. Good block on the burst, but not able to get a punish.
Yeah, usually that's a point where you would be able to see a really significant punish, but not there. What a nice catch. Doesn't get a wall break, but that's a lot of damage if they continue this wall pressure.
Okay, there's the 5K. Opened up Gearlock here and out of the corner, though. But positive bonus. Already has 100%, so has to spend this meter. Otherwise, what's it all for? There we go. Big beam coming at you. FD'd.
I expected it again. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, see?
Why'd you bring this into me?
Commentator's blessing. Get blessed with double super.
Yeah, hold on to another beam on the way.
Right?
All right, so well spent there from Razzo, and there we go. Already has almost 100% tension, but won't need it. Got the kill.
Look, we each had to bring something into existence today.
We've cursed a lot of people today.
I did. I really did. I was like, I really expected double super. Oh, there it is. Just kidding.
I see.
Yeah, wow. I love these air combos. Seeing what you can do in the air now is so fun.
Okay, yep. And this pressure, it's insane. That risk gauge was cranked. Immediate burst, we got out of the corner. We'll take those. Gearlock gonna have to try to apply some pressure on this one. Nice counter hit, slide head only though.
Yeah, oof. Can't get out of the slide head where you're at now. Blue
Nice
RC, blue
drip.
RC.
Okay, nice flick though, getting out once again. And we're sitting right on top of the sword, trying not to let Ramathal get it back, but it doesn't matter. Razzo finds the opening here, spends the overdrive.
Yeah, that was nice to get the extra damage, especially because of the wall break. YRC to try and reset. Actually, this...
It's close, it's close. All right, but one touch here for Gearlock. Nice hammer fist though. Garuda's just a bit too far to the beam. You're gonna have to hold it. I hope you didn't butt slam. There you go.
I felt like for Razzo, you know, no matter what happened in that situation, if it was FD'd, butt slam, whatever, the worst case was that Gear was going to be further away.
Right, absolutely. It was definitely like one of those checkmate situations there. You had to spend the resources and have enough to last that whole overdrive.
Also, though, there was a gold RC there, but only spent one for the Roman cancel, and now, geez, just Razzo has answers. I felt like in the first time in this match, he had questions, and now Razzo has answers.
What happened to the overdrive? Wait a minute. The eye field is gone. The sword doesn't care about it.
Nope. There is no caring. Only Ramathal.
Only Ramathal and Burgers.
Oh my gosh. So, the thing that I wanted to highlight before that really cool gold burst,
Right.
keep an eye on Razzo's burst and how infrequently they use it. Because they just hold that the entire match. Oh my gosh. So, drift red RC into the swords, does drop it, unfortunately. So trying to get some mix-up pressure, gets hit with the Mega Fist, but still stuck in the corner.
Oh, jailed out, jump P. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it's another one of those layers of mental game, holding on to burst for so long, because Gearlock has to have it in the back of their head, like, all right, I'm doing a lot of damage. Like, surely you're gonna burst, right? And then when Razzo doesn't, can flip it right around. Won't need it this round though. Razzo's looking to go back to this grand finals on winner's side, trying to take it back to Gearlock here.
Which, I mean, Razzo is a very seasoned player, has done a lot of different games, a lot of different tournaments, so they're not as affected by the mental game as players who haven't been doing this as long as they have.
Right. Okay. Whoa, jumped out. Good decision to back off too.
Ooh, I like the backdash blue RC to try and get out of the pressure, still holding on to that burst. What a counter hit low.
Yeah. Okay, air to air, nice. There it is, shutting down the Mega Fist too. That's so important here. Razzo gonna keep this corner pressure. Explosion on. Yo, you can't open
You
up.
can't.
You're dead.
Razzo the Sharp. Just showing why they're one of the best at no matter what game they pick up.
One of the sharpest fighting game players out there, huh?
All right, I'll give you that one.
I went there. Yes, I did.
You did. Oh, when you said it, I was like, no, my life. Ah.
Well, Razzo.
Oh, so this is actually really interesting. In Discord, Razzo goes, I went and I laughed. I feel better now.
I feel bad. See what happens when you take a moment to just think about the notes, like instead of just accepting fate as it is, you know, like you really try it out, really challenge your perception of what your character is capable of and find those additional answers. And that is signs of a high level player, a top tier player, willing to just go beyond what is face value and willing to learn and try to work around these matchups.
Yeah, I am. And I'm really impressed with Razzo's adaptability in that short amount of
Hmm.
time, but
Yes.
also labbing is important.
Yes.
So, like, you know, do your homework and then see how it works in a live match. Because yes, you can lab day in, day out and be a lab monster, but if you don't put it into a pressure situation with real people who don't react like computers, you're not going to know if it works. And Razzo can lab things and then immediately apply it. So there's really
Hmm.
something to be said for that learning opportunity.
Yeah, and sometimes it just might be a question of, this is why we have tests where you have notes available to you during these tests. You think you know the answer, but then you want to go double check real quick because there's so much information that can happen in any given set or in any given game, and things that you might not think about right off firsthand. And you come face to face with them in those live matches, you could go right back around, test it. And, great thing about Strive is that it saves you replays automatically. So you can go back in that match. Be like, what was that thing? How did you do it? And what could I have done after the fact?
Yeah, that is so important,
Yeah.
especially like I'm so glad you said something about the replay function because it automatic Strive just says, "Hey, your replay saved." And I feel like especially with when you're into specific matchups that you're struggling with, or if you
Yeah.
come face to face with a mirror match and you really like something that your opponent did, you don't have to remember it, which takes you out of the moment of the match. You can be like,
Right.
all right, let me go back and check that out. I did that early on in Strive when I was playing watching what other Enos would do and be
Hmm.
like, oh, that's a good idea that I'm not doing. Or when I would play Kai's again, I'd be like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me write that down because I know the move set well enough that I can write down that it's, close slash 2H, blah, 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 blah,
Right.
and go through and make those notes.
And it's like what happened early on with Dragon Ball Fighters. Japan was very much like, go ahead, America, figure out your combos. That's fine. We'll be over here practicing defense because we could just YouTube the combos and just learn those whenever. We're just going to be able to block everything, so none of that works.
Right.
There you go. But also, you can't block this ad from Roundhouse. I mean, even if you had ad blocker, it's still right there on the screen. It's physically impossible. That's happening this upcoming weekend, the 23rd and the 24th. The entirety of the Chicago FGC coming together to bring you a fantastic series of events.
Yeah, just every major house. So we have Downtown Beatdown, which is this channel today, bringing you MK11 Dragon Ball Fighters and Virtua Fighter 5, which is super,
Yes.
super sick. Um, really excited to watch and see what comes out of that. And all of that's happening on the 23rd. So, go check out Smash GG and go, especially Low Kick, which is organizing this to see,
Mm-hmm.
who's going when for what tournament, because you're not going to want to miss Garage Gear with
Right.
Exard, Strive, and Accent Core Plus R, whichever edition we're on. I think it's Plus R.
It's plus R. We're on the plus R, the positive one. It added that rollback, so of course we got that resurgence in popularity of a classic here, and nothing more classic than UGS coming at you with that Undernight. Not just any Undernight, it's Undernight in Birth CLR alongside Melty Blood type Lumina. Both games making tremendous waves. Of course, UGS, the crew out there, always hosting those Midwest events for Undernight. Melty Blood type Lumina bringing a whole new slew of players, just like the Waifu Dome did with the help of BG Callisto for not only Blaze Blue Central Fiction, but Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and BB Tag.
Yeah, Tag is my game. I love
Mm-hmm.
Tag. I mean, I love CF2 and I really like Grand Blue, but Tag is my game. And shoutouts to Waifu Dome and Callisto for keeping it alive. Just like Chicago Tekken keeps this Tekken scene all day, every day.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if you've been to any events, they are repping with their shirts and their merch, and they're just like, play Tekken.
Yeah, absolutely. The rivalries that they create out of Chicago, just various regions from Atlanta to Detroit and other areas, all coming together to really compete in their favorite game, Tekken 7. But that Marvel crowd, second to none for hype. That Power Rangers Battle for the Grid crowd as well. Marvel Mayhem coming at you with every Marvel iteration except for the first one. But, you got Marvel 2 on there. Free Marvel. Let's get it back out there. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 out there. Capcom Infinite as well. Battle for the Grid, we just added Adam. That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
That character, I played on the Adam patch, and he is so rude. He's so rude, and he's an awesome character, don't get me wrong, and if you like it, speaking of, characters that are similar to Strive, if you like playing Chip, you're gonna love playing Adam, because
Oh
he
yeah.
is ninja and silly, but also really devastating.
He
And if you
also
like
breaks
Devil,
consoles too.
He do,
well,
yeah, he does send you back to the Shadow Realm of that.
well, if you like Devil May Cry, you have Virgil and Nero available in Power Rangers, and Virgil is in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so
You know
people,
that so the voice actor is for Virgil is in Battle for the Grid, and they actually wrote
Mhm.
one of the lines for "I need more power" to be "I need
Yes,
more quantum power."
it was so fantastic.
It's
Appreciate.
so
I mean,
great.
because Battle for the Grid definitely built with the help from some of the best in the Marvel scene. Um, kind of adding their 2 cents to how the game should play, and it really shows because that game has grown so much from its humble beginnings, and it looks like so much fun. It's great to watch, really easy to pick up, but difficult to master. It's definitely
Mhm.
worthwhile. Rollback, it's
Rollback
great.
crossplay.
Crossplay.
You can't. Oh man, it's actually why I keep playing it, because it is so easy to pick up and find matches, and then because it is crossplay, and rollback, it just feels great. But speaking of rollback, we're getting back into the Strive Grand Finals for
Yes.
this downtown beatdown.
Yes, Razzo made it back, took down Gearlock after, feeling a little bit down about the matchup, right? Just, I don't know if Ramlethal can take on Potemkin. Turn it around with a 3-0,
I mean,
which,
that's definitive.
yeah, Razzo lost 2-0 to Gearlock, and then Razzo found an answer. Whatever Razzo labbed was the key that shut things down for Gearlock here. But now Mixup, a completely different Potemkin, right? Because Mixup 3-2 kept it close to Gearlock. I don't know if that means anything for Razzo here, but Razzo clearly took a break to not only get some water, but probably also lab a smidge more and jump back on the sticks here.
Right. And so when we've seen Mixup on screen, every Potemkin we've seen today has played super fast.
Mhm.
Mixup's like light speed. They gotta go fast. And so I feel like to adjust, Razzo's gonna have to, maybe adjust their tempo a little bit, either speed it up even more than Mix, which is a distinct possibility knowing Razzo, or slow it down so that Mix-Up's uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Razzo makes that approach on this matchup in particular, because obviously they didn't end up facing each other in this bracket, and
Right.
sometimes these characters are player matchups on top of it, of just the regular character matchup. Will Razzo keep that lockdown game? I think it worked really well, but I think also Gearlock and Baba both had answers against just being chucked swords in their way. Able to get out of the corner, utilizing flick, and really forcing Razzo to make a forward approach. And I wonder if Mixup will use that opportunity, because Mixup does have close range options, obviously, like every Potemkin does. But Mixup has been the aggressive Potemkin that we've seen here, really opting to go for lows and really challenge things out. But does Razzo get that opportunity with Far Slash and Heavy Slash as well?
Yeah, that is definitely the question. The other thing too is that Razzo has to win 6, whereas Mix-Up only has to win 3, because this is double
Right,
elim. And,
right.
you know, yeah, Razzo can play the long game. They've played it before. It's not, I don't think it's, as much on the mental fortitude as it would be with some players, but how many Mega Fists and Pot Busters are you going to be able to handle?
Well, time will tell here. Razzo's been pretty consistent with building up a lot of meter, right? Just being able to react at the ready with various tools that Remmenthal does have. And that's, I think, been going a long way for these Potemkin matchups. Just having more resources against Potemkin really helps tremendously, because Potemkin's going to have to spend that meter on faultless defensing a lot of situations to kind of get the space that they're looking for, and that removes purple RC opportunities, and that removes your guesses at that point as well. So it's gonna rely on pure neutral.
Yeah, and actually, I'm really glad you brought up the RC situation because in that losers finals against Mixup, I'm sorry, against Gear, where Gear had so many RCs in their previous matches, the way that Razzo was using their own meter so that Gear had to FD everything. They just didn't have that was a whole route removed.
Yeah. So we'll see how much pressure Razzo will, you know, control the situation. I think we're going to see a lot of that, right? Of just like constant offense, keep the pedal to the metal there from Ramlethal, and not give Mixup the opportunity to open up. I think it's going to be really scary when Razzo does get knocked down, if Razzo gets knocked down at all, and Mixup takes that opportunity, because we've seen plenty of situations where Mixup, Garuda impact, and then there's your guest situation there. It's hard to say, but Razzo, Mixup, they are up here, grand finals. Mixup hoping to close this out quickly. Razzo willing to play the long game.
Definitely the long game. So we're going to see how this goes. So I think we've had a Potemkin in every single round but one here today. So let's see what we've got. I love the aggression out of the gate from Mixup. Just grab, slam. I don't think that Razzo got hit with any of those against Gear.
Right, exactly. Like the previous two Potemkins Razzo went up against did not get a pop buster off. And here we go, Mega Fist right out of the explosion. Good challenge from Razzo. Push back to the corner. Counter hit, though. No burst spent. YRC does connect here. Nice backdash.
Yeah, use the burst to try and get out of the corner, and does manage to just jump out. That's something we haven't seen from any of the previous pots either, is using the gaps in Ram strings to just jump out. Mm-hmm. Oh, but you're stuck in the corner again.
Okay, we're out. Well, good 6P. Okay, this could be devastating here, and it will be. Gets the shatter.
Yeah, and look. No, actually, Mixup had the meter for another Drift RC and just Mega Fist to the head. Yeah, this is the way that Mixup plays the high-low and just the counter game, the long counter game, is so impressive.
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit of an error there on Razzo's end. Probably not wanting to get the flip over there. Mixup, Garuda impact, goes for the low reach. Yeah, you're right. These high-low mixes from Mixup, this is really the tail of the tape here, because you're not playing against, your previous two Potemkins. Nice double hit off of the slide head. Razzo able to get that counter.
Yeah, I like, though, that Razzo stopped that combo early, didn't do the third hit, because they knew it wasn't connecting.
Wasn't high enough to get the full shatter. Does get a throw. Burst is available, but we don't need it. Blocks the YRC and still opened up. Good throw.
Nice throw. All right, now we got the 1-1 here. Oh, slide head. I love slide head dash for immediate pressure.
Right.
Razzo jumps over, but what a nice counter hit. Drift RC has to burst. Yeah. When did Razzo burst in the last one? Never. And the charge dust into the air. You don't have burst for this, homie. You're dead.
Oh my God.
Oh, perfect. The way, Mix knew that Razzo had spent the burst. Was like, this is a perfect time to charge dust full combo.
Absolutely. And, I'm glad you brought up, too, the previous matches. Razzo held on burst for like ever. It was a rare instance in a big victory for the other Potemkins to get Razzo to spend burst. Here, Mixup is forcing it out here. Bad situation to start out for Mixup, though. Razzo turning it up. Nice dodge on the slide head.
Yeah, I like the adjustments from Razzo, doing some high-low of their own. The sword was already in the corner. Good blocking until you got hit by the sword. Man, not bad. Commentator's curse. Sorry.
Hey, but a great start for Razzo, though. Completely different. Really in control of the situation here and still keep the pressure. Nice challenge with 2P.
His 6P sending Razzo into the corner again.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I really like the 6P like counter hit situation, deciding
too.
to go for the hammer fall to chase down and still gain ground rather than trying to play the mid screen game. Okay.
Gets a wall break. So Mixup kind of on the back foot here. Does have meter, does still have burst. Hasn't spent the burst yet. Trying to get those overhead mega fists not working. What oh.
Okay.
So it seemed like Mixup had put out their burst and Razzo PRC'd to catch it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, smart, because you have to do that really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. The reaction there, with the RC timing being a little bit adjusted here for some of these moves, like just that PRC situation, I was expecting a throw, but Razzo was ready to just continue pressure rather than throw. And, whoa, big hit here.
Yeah, has to burst, but gets a gold burst because Mixup wasn't being particularly aggressive at that time.
Yeah.
Does use some of it on a YRC to just try and, reset a little bit. I love 5P checks. I know I've said it, but they're just so funny to me.
It's, gives you a moment of pause to think about, like, all right, I got to tighten things up here, and great flick. And if I'm not, then my opponent is not going to respect me at all. So I just have to keep this pressure going. Right, big
Yeah.
swing.
Ooh, nice counter.
Yeah, a little bit too far for Daro.
Yeah,
Nice.
Razzo is blocking out of their mind, honestly.
Yeah.
But so is Mixup. Oh, gets caught with the grab. Gets caught with the grab again. Phew. I felt like Mixup had something going there with the way that they were blocking, and then the overhead moves, depending on which one it was. But Razzo's changed the way they're playing.
Yeah. Definitely opting to be a little bit more aggressive. Play the mid-screen range here. Good shatter, honestly. Razzo looking great until you get Mega Fisted. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I love it. 2 Mega Fists, and you're almost at equal health. But these grabs paying off dividends for Razzo.
Absolutely. It's the corner situation Mixup does not want to be in, and it doesn't matter. Razzo is still advancing forward, advancing in this grand finals 2-1 right now. So one more game for a reset. Razzo looking pretty solid right now. Definitely in control.
Yeah, definitely in control, which is, not what I was expecting as much, but just because Mixup was so commanding, but Mixup adjusted to Razzo's pace.
Yes.
And now they're not playing at the, the tempo that they're used to, and it seems like it's throwing them off a lot. Does get a nice low, but Razzo had to burst there.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. How long was that?
Wasn't even that long at all. 80 seconds left on the clock for that kill.
Razzo's trying to speed run grand finals. Would like a reset, please.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Keep the pressure going, right? Just don't give your opponent the opportunity to really think about what's going on. Just be explosive, control this corner situation again. Couple 5Ks here, don't open up. If you don't have resources, you probably shouldn't be opening up against Ramethal in that corner situation. Like,
no.
Unless you're really confident in your Pop Buster in that corner or any other reversal, you can't, because there it is right there. You're reset. Razzo, 3-1 over Mixup.
That was commanding. So Razzo made the adjustments that I had highlighted, in that they were commanding the pace of the game. And that, you're going to counter the high-low, you're going to use your resources differently. What does Mixup do now? How do they take this back?
It's so, like, I'm really trying to think of some adjustment that you can make. Obviously, the big one I have is in the corner, we definitely have to just relax just for a second. Let Ramethal, spend their block string. And unfortunately, Ramethal does have routes where she can continue that block string for, like, ever. And that's so devastating. I mean, me as a rushdown player, anytime I'm not pressing buttons, I'm like, God, like, I really want to press buttons right now. So being in a situation without a reversal in the corner as Potemkin, like, you have all that health. utilize that as a resource, right? Just keep
Right.
blocking, wait your turn, and unfortunately, you're not building up meter in that corner situation, but try to get your advances. Try to push back with FD, and eventually, that gap's going to open up. And when that moment hits, that's when you start to rip.
I like that you said use your health as a resource because that's not something we think about very often unless it's like a core mechanic to the character. Like if you're playing Carmine in Undernight / Tag, like that is a resource for him. But it can be intimidating looking a Potemkin down the barrel of a gun and being like, you have so much health. But Razzo's not afraid.
Right, that's what grapplers do, right? That that health is that additional. That's why they have the slower buttons. But when they do touch you, that damage is devastating. So they use the health as that resource to make that approach here. Good side swap, but unfortunately, here we had to try to chase down Razzo again. All right, good flick to the corner, but got caught after this hammer fall right there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because Mixup was in guts there, didn't take as much damage from that wall break. Oh, Razzo has burst for this. Yeah, it does choose to use it. It would have been a lot of damage if they hadn't. It is close to the end of whatever this round is going to be, but it's like, that's a resource that you're willing to use.
Yeah.
So just, oh man. Just jump, 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 jump.
Backdash. Just wants to spend the meter. Absolutely. I don't blame you. Force the FD. Hold this chip. And now you have no resources. You have to use FD, but you have almost no meter.
And that risk, the risk gauge on Potemkin was cranked.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what the hit was, it was going to be devastating, and there wasn't that much to do. Major counter hit, 2 swords, multiple explosions, has tension for an overdrive wall break. Yay! Razzo's running this one fast.
Okay, and look at this. You can't let that overdrive build. There we go. Mix up. Getting clipped.
Razzo has... no. It has to build it. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter. But he's going to have enough meter.
Yeah. Could do it again right now. Or we're just going to keep this chip in the corner. YRC does get spent. Good jump out from Razzo. Excellent guess there.
So smart.
Yeah.
Saw those arms coming out. I was like, oh god.
Just wants a hug. No, you didn't get permission for this hug. Sorry, it's COVID.
No hugs. No free hugs. I've been playing a lot of Back 4 Blood, and that's definitely one of the lines in there.
Oh yes, that is. Holly just cranks that line.
Yeah, no free hugs.
Oh.
All right, so getting into this reset of the grand finals, Razzo already up 1, and I feel like coming out swinging is an accurate description of what they're doing right now.
Absolutely. Hold the 6H. I love that Ramlethal 5K's best timing the sword explodes. She hits the bottom of the sword and it blows up. Okay, good approach there.
Whew, man. Just getting hit by the way that Razzo's able to change up the high-low.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... How do you block all that?
Right, therein lies the problem, right? Because like I said before this match started, you have to be patient in the corner. But also, the other side of the coin, the problem is you can't block forever if the mix keeps happening.
No, you really can't. And there's so few options that you have when you're blocking all of that in the corner. Oh, does manage to get a jump out. This could be big for Mixup if they get anything off of this.
Knockdown, going again.
Whoop, burst. Oh, PRC walk up grab. Fantastic, but enough meter for a YRC to try and reset.
Alright, the knockdown, gonna play that distance game, and yeah, you got a good flick. Okay, lost both swords. Big opportunity for Mixup, but no resources to really close this gap, so Razzo can just take their time, reload.
Yeah, I like the way that they were just like, you have to make the mistake here, so I'm just gonna wait for my swords to come back.
Yeah. Ooh, alright, gold burst. But 6P'd, the hammer fall, excellent decision for Razzo. Doesn't get the full carry, backdash. Excellent choice, though.
Oh my gosh, and they're having to use so much of that meter that they got from the gold burst to FD.
Yeah. Razzo in complete control in this grand finals, up 2-0 against Mixup right now.
That's so That is so, like you were talking about mental stack. Your mental stack is overloaded. It's overheating. You need more fans.
Yeah.
Because holy moly, you got gold burst, and what did Razzo do? Spend tension to run up and smack you in the face.
Right? I have all these resources. It's in my favor. Wait,
No, it
what are
isn't.
you doing? You're still attacking me.
Because Razzo's not scared.
Right.
They're coming in, this is the closest it's been.
Yeah.
Razzo does have to burst, but look at these counter hits.
Make a throw. Stand right back up. I love the OTG button. Yo, the grab coming through. Watch out for
Oh,
the meter.
nice
You have
counter
to
hit
respect
overdrive.
the meter. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're that close, you got to expect that when there's a meter.
Oh gosh. Nice backdash butt slam gets slapped out of the sky. Match point here for Razzo.
Oh gosh, alright. So, I mean, Mixup's like, oh, this is match point for Razzo.
This
I
is
have
bad
nothing
news
on the
bears.
board. Yeah,
I'm
bad
being
news
bounced
bears.
around.
You are the equivalent of the basketball.
Yeah, we're just playing a nice game of handball out here. Yo, excellent block on the burst. Keep holding this pressure. Resources are gone at this point for Mixup. Has to vault this defense, but there's not enough tension to keep up this onslaught here. Oh my goodness, big counter hit. Carry, that's a crush on the corner there. And the game, 3-0, perfect for Razzo against Mixup.
That was gorgeous. I loved the way Razzo was so aware every time that Mixup was like, I don't have FD anymore. They're like, you're getting hit with a low. Or
Yeah.
I just hit you twice with a low and you blocked it. Here's the overhead. Here's the sword explosion. Like, GG's, because that was very, very impressive gameplay, especially coming in and Razzo looking a little shaky with the ram into Potemkin, but then just really showed us, no, this is the right matchup.
Yeah, it's definitely a character that can keep that pressure running, and just when you're out of the resources to hold back defensively in the corner, it gets really scary. Potemkin is definitely not a character that is used to having to hold that much pressure in such a way where Rementhal is at a safe distance. Trying to drift through is terrifying, and the only option that Potemkin has, if the space is allowed, is to jump before the sword explodes. But by that point, Rementhal is then probably jump P, which jails you out. It's the risk that you have to take. You have to at least try, but Razzo was ready. The offense was just overwhelming, shutting down so many options, and just really well aware of resources on both ends.
Yeah, I mean, that's what comes from a fighting game player who's not just well versed in one game, but in many games, and
Right.
excels at many games, is being able not just to know your character's move sets and what they can do in certain situations, but also, what other things are available on your screen. What
Right.
meter advantages do you have? If you're in a tag game, what does your partner have that you don't? Just being really aware of every single piece of information that's available. And Razzo does that and does that really, really well.
Exactly. So congratulations to Razzo for taking today's downtown beatdown online, coming from a losing game, losing 2-0 against Gearlock, and now taking it all in grand finals. Big congratulations, and also to all the Potemkin players that were in this bracket from Mixup, Gearlock, and Baba. Great stuff, all of you. Wow. And Nim, thank you so much for stopping by and playing that Kai play. Jaidlyn definitely enjoyed it. I enjoy it. I always
did.
enjoy the Boy Scout Kai, come on.
Yeah, especially because that's the color that I use too. So shout outs to
Oh.
Purple Kai.
There you go.
Yep, exactly. But I think that's it for us today. I am Jaidlyn, and this is my home slice, Zero. Where can they find you, Zero? What do you do?
Oh, sure. You can find me on Twitter. It's right there on the screen at Zero Syndicate. It also happens to be my Twitch name as well, twitch.tv/Zero Syndicate. We're going through, it's spooky season, right? So we're going through the
Spooky.
entirety of the Resident Evil saga still. I'm on Resident Evil 2 Remake with the Leon route right now, but I've taken a tangent because Back for Blood has come out. So definitely tune in for those. And Jaidlyn, you got a whole schedule this month. What is happening for your spooky season?
This is slightly scarier Spooky Ween, and Tuesday, Back for Blood. And again, you can find me at Jaidlyn Gaming. That's where all my socials are. And Wednesday, I'm playing the RPG Maker game Ebe, which is it's a psychological horror, so we're gonna see how well I do because I don't handle that real well. And then we're gonna see how scary these patch notes are next Friday with Strive.
Yes, absolutely. Right before the official Roundhouse weekend begins too. So if we're gonna see you at Roundhouse, we'll see you there. Feel free to say hi. It's gonna be a terrific time out there.
It really is. But that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and everyone who donated to the Matcherino. Snatch up some of those codes if you still have some time. And we will catch you next time for more action here with the Downtown Beatdown and the Central Illinois FGC.
Indeed, we will. Later days, everybody.